Wait. Okay, what's on Wednesday Awakens? 3 live action series. Next movie, it will be David Benioff, DB even though I will give it a chance to him, and Mark Hamill will guest star in the Big Bang Theory series finale. Bloomberg is saying this Galaxy's Edge is not just for kids. Camino. And I think that's... Wait. Disney Legends, James Earl Jones, inducted. Inducted! Well, this is a good time for a good episode. And this is going to be the next main topic of Wednesday Awakens. Hey guys, welcome to the episode of The Wednesday Awakens. In this episode of The Wednesday Awakens, I'll be talking about, of course, is Battlefront 2. I'm his 46 Pro Amateur. Well, cover for my clone, who is right now at the back of the tank, and he should be out at any moment, so he can talk about, of course, is of course where Disney announces the live action, and right after the horrendous aftermath of course, where he is right now, well, being recovered by the paramedics in the back of the tanks. And he'll be talking about the David Benioff DB trilogy, and Mark Hamill, who is Luke Skywalker, will be doing, who had been appearing at the series finale of Big Bang Theory, one of the CBS hit sitcoms. And Bloomberg says that Galaxy's Edge is not just for kids, it's also for rich adults. Well, not just for kids. And James Earl Jones, who voiced Darth Vader, has been inducted to Disney Legends for D23 this year. Alright, I'm here, and I will cover Camino before my creator comes back. Well, guys, I've been following Star Wars headquarters, where they don't just cover for video games. That's also Battlefront updates by Elliot of Sweden, but also Robbie and Ryan of Star Wars headquarters, and Speed and Infernal and Open World Games headquarters, or Open World Games. Their channels where they discuss video games like Need for Speed, and they also do Open World Games, and they talk about, of course, is Star Wars the most. But I'm going to cut right to the chase. Where we talk about, of course, is the Battlefront 2 Capital Supremacy map has been added for me. And that Capital Supremacy map is, of course, the planet Camino, which is another of the Clone Wars. One of the Clone Wars planets. But that was one of the 2 Clone Wars planets till now. Yep, till now we have... Oh wait, one of the 3 before Geonosis. So already we had Naboo, Kashyyyk, and Camino. That's what we had so far. And on the other hand, we have, but you know what? There's no other hand, but Camino, hands down, is the one, the best. But so far in Capital Supremacy, we have Geonosis, where it's, command post. We have to take the command post. But now that is what I wanted to hope for. Hope to see at the EA Battlefront 2. Hope to see on an EA version of Battlefront is command post. That's all we wanted. We don't want space battles. We don't want on-ground battles. Even though I do love space battles, is command post. You gotta take the command post. Huh? Oh, it sounds like... Well, I know that's a fan, but this sounds like, of course, one of my creators is feeling much better right now to do this episode. Yes, I did happen to found his corpse, and although he wasn't technically dead, I heard him pain out in agony. Alright guys, that's going to do about it for me. He should be here at any moment. I've been Mr. 46.9 Insured. Thank you for listening. Until I meet again, for me, it's game over. Wow. Thank you, Mr. 46.9 Amateur. You could go back to your cloning facility now. Well, that is the only topic. And yes, I've heard James Earl Jones, but that will be the main topic. But first, we're gonna have to cover a thing. We're gonna have to cover a thing regarding to Disney Plus. Well, at recent updates with Star Wars, so far we have 2 new shows coming up. One I was looking forward to. The one I'm looking forward to in Battlefront one I'm coming forward to Disney Plus is, of course, Star Wars The Mandalorian, which takes place at the Lone Gunslinger, which is the Mandalorian with no name, played by former Game of Thrones victim Pedro Pascal. Don't worry, he didn't get a new set of eyes or anything. Those are the same eyes, which was gouged out due to effect. And we got Janita and Carl Weathers in the show. Well, Janita was the Angel Dust in Deadpool. Although, and we get to the next show, which I'm not really looking forward to, but I'll just watch it for K2SO with Diego Luna and Alan Tudyk as Cassian Andor and K2SO. Now I'm really looking forward to seeing K2SO on the Disney Plus series, because I would love to know more about him. But Diego Luna, I'm not Now, don't get me wrong, I mean, he is the first Latino actor, well, from Mexico, to appear in Star Wars, but I'm not looking forward to seeing Cassian Andor before the event of Cassian Andor. Just like, but on the other hand, Disney has announced the third live-action series coming to Disney Plus. They didn't say what series it is yet, but I know some of you are asking for Darth Bane. But most people, including me, of course, are asking for an Obi-Wan Kenobi spin-off film. I mean, I've been wanting to see what happened with Obi-Wan during Exile in the canon timeline, because I didn't get a chance to see in the Legends of how Obi-Wan spent his time during Exile in Tatooine. But maybe he's have a child hidden and yes, who happens to be related to him and Satine and Duchess Satine of Mandalore. Yeah, before she died. Well, maybe the two had their romance, and Anakin was not the only one who broke the code. Obi-Wan also. And even though I would love to see what happened. I would love to see what happened to them. You know, before, at his time of exile. Maybe he and Satine, you know, the two fell in love. And Obi-Wan, you know, just like Anakin, made love, you know? Well, even though I saw the Alex Damon one, when he's reading Master and Apprentice, which is a spoiler. But although, yes, before I go to the next topic, here's a little thing I got from the Star Wars Explained, courtesy of Star Wars Explained's YouTube channel, regarding to the love making and Star Wars.
Rael Averross. He was from the planet Ringo Vinda, which was first seen in the Lost missions of the Clone Wars. He's shown to be even more flexible regarding the Jedi Code than Qui-Gon, making time for sex that he describes as without attachment. There are no consequences for that, but it definitely sounds like it's regarded as a no-no for Jedi.
Well, we got that kind of talk out of the way of an idea for a third live-action series. Let's get to the sitcom. Have you guys ever watched The Big Bang Theory? Yes, and we see the cameo Stan Lee. Although we do have like 3 Star Wars guest stars, 3 Star Wars actors. James Earl Jones, who voiced Darth Vader. And yes, there was a scene with Carrie Fisher make a cameo appearance, who was being pranked by James Earl Jones. May she rest in peace. But now we have a third act and final Star Wars actor making an appearance at Big Bang Theory. The reason I say the final is because the Big Bang Theory recently was, of course, the final episode where Mark Hamill, who played Luke Skywalker, made a guest star appearance as himself. And yes, and looking for his pup. Yes, he was looking for his dog. And then, at the wedding between Sheldon and Penny, I think. Well, I haven't watched Big Bang Theory, but he is the pastor of the wedding, and he congratulated Sheldon on getting married. Yes, I'm happy for him too, Mark. I'm happy for him too, Mark. Yes, despite of Jim Parsons' real-life sexuality, but he did a great job playing the straight guy, despite of his real life sexuality. And he got to meet two Star Wars actors. James Earl Jones as himself, even though he did prank Carrie Fisher herself. Again, God rest her soul. And he's got Mark Hamill himself to do his wedding, to do his marriage. But speaking of James Earl Jones, he is on the main topic I'll be talking about, which I'll be talking about soon. And hopefully I can find that on the Star Wars app so I can read you one. Although Geek City's gonna come up, that this one will be prior, but Tuesday will be prior to, right after my finale of Monday Thrones, where I've been killed by a piano. Yes, 2.5 Men style, which was one of the worst finales. Even though Game of Thrones may be bad, and even though I don't watch Lost, I do agree with the final season of the final episode of Lost. It go down as disappointing finales. Yes, next to Game of Thrones and 2.5 Men. Where my death was like that. And although I got new topics to talk about, I do have new topics to talk about that, and pages, I got a few pages left in my journal to talk about. And yes, I got the other one where I could love to do a recap. Even if that's good news with Mark Hamill doing a finale, the next one, however, is related to Game of Thrones, and it's not really good news for the Game of Thrones fans. Right after the disappointing Game of Thrones, right after the disappointing final season of Game of Thrones, everybody is beginning to lose hope, beginning to lose faith in David Benioff and D.B. Weiss. Even though I did, but my was decreased from 100 to 75%. Yet I'm a Star Wars fan, and I'm really hopeful. I'm really hopeful they get this right, but I'm mainly hopeful they get script doctors, because I really need them to do work. I really want them to do work. And I really need them to get script doctors like George Lucas did in 1976. In between 75 76. Right before the movie was released in 77. Because saying they might have a trilogy, but unfortunately, that won't be the case anymore, because I looked it up and I wasn't carefully reading. Turns out they will not have a trilogy. Instead, they will be writing the Star Wars 2022 episode in 2022. Although, even though I'm still hopeful they would be part of this, but I'm really skeptical about it also. They need script doctors, And I don't blame you guys as a Bob Iger. Well, Bob Iger's too nice, okay? That's why he didn't fire Kathleen Kennedy, because he's too damn nice. Man, if I was the CEO and after that Solo flop, I'm going to fire her. I would fire her for that, and I would let J.J. Abrams finish episode 9. Then the Old Republic and the Benioff and D.B. Weiss screwed that up. Well, I'm not going to tell them where your requirements are no longer needed. I would tell them that you're going to have script doctors. If they are going to fix it, they know Star Wars, they're here to fix it. If they don't like it, they're here to fix it. But hey, you gotta appreciate those script doctors. I'm telling you this, Hollywood. Get professional script doctors that knows movies. Not know movies for its political agenda. You know? But I'm glad not every movie that won an Oscar is political agenda, because Green Book is a movie about friendship between an Italian, a Caucasian, and an African American man. An African American man have developed a strange but yet compassionate friendship for each other. Now I haven't gotten Green Book yet, and I definitely have interest in buying Green Book. I know what I'm saying. I'm talking about Star Wars. I'm talking about Game of Thrones. Why are you talking about other movies? Well, I'm talking about script doctors, you know? This is why they need script doctors. If you can check out my bonus content for the Wednesday Awakens that I did last week, since I don't have enough topics to talk about the Wednesday Awakens. But although I'm really satisfied, although I'm really hopeful for them, but they do need script doctors, then I would be very interested. Because we need script doctors right now. We need them. 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 We need them to fix them. We need them to get script doctors. We need those doctors to fix their script if they don't like it. We need to make them feel like we need a professional script doctors that actually knows and loves Star Wars, not for its political agenda. But like I say, I keep politics out of it. And yes, I am. And I'm just saying, Green Book, on the other hand, deserved an Oscar, you know? I mean, I'm okay with Black Panther not winning an Oscar, because that's what Oscars are about, is diverse, but this one, it's not, they don't say it wasn't woken up, but, hey, you know, it's all about development and story, that's it, you know? Even though if I like it, I'll review it on Spreaker. If I don't like it, I'll rant about it, I'll rave about it in a negative way. But right now, I got Bumblebee, and if I do get a chance to watch Bumblebee, I would definitely love to do Transformers Thursday and talk about Bumblebee. And I would definitely love to talk about Bumblebee. And I would say I highly, if I like it, I say I would highly recommend this. If I don't like it, I have to say it's not worth your time. But the positive reviews have spoken. I bought the movie, and I'm going to see how it does. If it holds up to the past, I'll say I recommend this. But if it doesn't, no, don't touch anything with Michael Bay's greasy fingerprints in there ever again. Since you say Davey Weiss might be the new Michael Bay, the new Rian Johnson, etc., but hey, we did Epic wins, Epic fails. And yes, I'm fully recovered now. With a terminal memory loss, my corpse was found, and I've been buried under a piano, and I've died. And yes, I've died after the Monday of Thrones finale, for now. But I'm alive and well for Marvel Tuesday. But yes, I'm here in a living flesh, healed up for the Wednesday Awakens. Medic! Whew. Okay. One more topic before the main event. And it's regarding to Disneyland. to Disneyland resorts. Alright, I got this source from Bloomberg, and it says, on travel, Disney's new Star Wars park isn't just for kids. It's for rich, older dudes, too. And here's a source from Christopher Palmieri, and his subtitle says, Galaxy's Edge, which opens this month, offers alcohol and other enticements for adults with deep pockets. Doug Riley remembers seeing the first Star Wars film when it came out in 1977, and snapping up all the toys he could pursue his parents into buying. Now 47, the criminal defense attorney often dons a stormtrooper uniform with his fan club and plans to be one of the first guests at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. When the attraction opens at Disneyland on May 31st, it won't be cheap. Besides reserving $800 a night Disney hotel rooms. That weekend in Anaheim, California, he plans to spend lots more on lightsabers, build your own droids, and other souvenirs. It's like busting. Hold on. Likely busting his annual travel budgets. Uh-oh. And it's a Imperial Stormtrooper, not the First Order Stormtrooper, as pictured. But thankfully, I wonder if the Stormtroopers of the First Order. Last year we went to Ireland for the summer. Ridley joked. This year we're going to Galaxy's Edge for the weekend. Really represents a potential lucrative demographic, fans who are older and more affluent than the typical young parents pushing strollers to Cinderella photo ops. With money spent and time, and the time to travel all year long, they'll help make Disney Star Wars investment an even bigger hit. Disney and other theme park operators have to look broad in their customer bases in recent years, coming up with attractions and even in events that appeals to adults and empty nesters that bolster audience outside the peak spring break and summer periods. According to Bobby Palta, who studies industry for real estate brokerage CBRE Group Incorporated, in Anaheim, Disney extended its its annual food and wine festival at the California Adventure Park by nearly 2 weeks to 54 days in March and April. More upscale dining options have been added in parks and just in Disney Mall. A $99 evening event. 90s Night sold out Disneyland in March with special characters appearance and music until 1 a.m. Who visit Anaheim? Whoa, that's from Bloomberg. But the highest showing is $100 to $150,000. That's the most visited of wealthiest people. But with the low of less than $20,000. And that's a source from Visit Anaheim from Bloomberg. who are like a stock market, who are in fact a stock market company, or or online, and yes, they have a channel, and it's all about stock markets. But back to the topic. The changes mirror what is happening more widely in the arena, according to Jay Brewis, head of Anaheim's tourism office. An upscale food court is an old citrus packing plant attracting tourists and locals, while two higher-end hotels, a JW Marriott and a Westin, are scheduled to open next year. For years, this has known as the place for chain restaurants where families eat, Burris said. Now, thanks to the changes Disney and others are making, they are appealing to a different audience, audience in many, many ways, which is fantastic for us. While Disney doesn't share information about park guests, data from tourist office illustrates the changes. The average income of 24 million visitors has climbed, with 47% earning more than $100,000 last year, up from 40% in 2012. More than half traveled without children, a shift from 5 years ago when families made up the bulk of guests. The older customers are phenomenal, says Durham Malecki, who has hosted fans from past Star Wars events at his Pizza Press restaurants near Disneyland and Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida. It changes the game down drastically. They're successful in their career. They have disposable income, and now they have a place to really get excited about. The new Star Wars Land and a similar attraction opens August 29th at Disney's Hollywood Studios in Orlando, mark the largest ever expansion for parks run by Walt Disney Company. And while the company's latest Star Wars movie have stumbled a bit, actually stumbled a lot, there's every indication that it will turn out 4 new attractions. Reservations for the first 3 weeks, Galaxy's Edge and Disneyland, were gone in an hour 45. The resort's Disney business revenue have been growing in importance for the Burbank, California-based entertainment giant. As its most profitable division, TV struggles with declining viewership. The company's invested $3.88 billion in the parks last year, a 22% increase from the prior year. Attendance rose 4%, while guest spending was up even more at 6%, in part due to rising ticket price. Disney has introduced the pricing system based on projected demand, with single-day admissions ranging from 104 on slow days to 149 when crowds are the biggest. Wow, that's a lot of money. Making a day. Well, if I was owned by Disney, I would get into the park for free. If I was owned by Disney, I would definitely get into the park for free. Making a day at the park comparable to orchestras at Broadway shows or lift tickets at the Colorado ski resorts. With Galaxy's Edge, the company unveiled the reservation that may be placed until June 23rd. I am 50 years old, but still as excited to go when I was a kid. That was a quote from the lawyer. Galaxy's Edge will have elements for the fans of all ages. There will be simulated rides on the Millennium Falcon starship. And later in the year, Disney will open an interactive attraction that mimics a battle between the First Order and the Resistance. Between rides, the guests will be able to wander through the trading posts on the fictional planet and interact with Disney companies' costumes. The company bar strollers above the certain size in the parks because of the anticipated crowd. And the first for Disneyland, Oga's Cantina in Galaxy's Edge will serve alcohol, including Jedi Mind Trick Craft Cocktail and Bad Motivator IPA. A sign the company recognizes the importance of adult visitors. At Doke Ondar's Den of Acquaintances, an animatronic shopkeeper will interact guests while looking for picking up fetch travelers and another galaxy such as rare kyber crystals. There's even a store for interstellar bling, the jewels of Bith, not the jewels of birth. Some fans are planning multiple exorcisms of Galaxy's Edge. Aaron Polka, a former Disney park designer, now head of production at the Interactive Entertainment 2-Bit Circus, plans 2 trips this year. One next month with his 24-year-old daughter, and another week-long visit in the fall with friends from the East Coast. I am 50 years old, but I'm still as excited to go when I was a kid. Oh wait, that was Aaron Polka. Wow! Wow, it's just 14 minutes! No, wait, 13 minutes! Wow! And before I get to the main topic, I do want to talk about Galaxy's Edge. The comic book. Okay, guys. Well, I'm gonna go skim through it. Hold on. Let's see if it would, Oh, thankfully it don't. Well, here's Galaxy's Edge, issue 1 of 5, of the mini-series of Galaxy's Edge, which takes place in Black Spire Outpost in Batuu. Now, with that droid says, "You there? Can I interest you in a juicy Ronto rap? Best of this quadrant." He's like, "Not exactly the high bar, is it?" And he's got a point. Then he would take the Mellow Run juice. There was that kid trying to take the taco. But then this character had grabbed the kid's arm. Trying to think he's trying to take the juice. But there was that rambling going on. And as this alien says, "Terrific. Just what we didn't need it. Just what we didn't need." And we have the one that says, well, it looks like the shuttle of the First Order, saying, "Look at them scurry at the battering rats they are. I never get tired of this sight. These are resistant scum hiding somewhere out of Batu, and the Red Fury will burn down this entire rat's nest and smoke them out, Lieutenant Angon." And that's one of the First Order stormtroopers saying that. And then Angon was like, "I expect nothing less, Sergeant. And before we are done, Batu will never be the same." Oh, and he's got 4 stormtroopers. And here's the characters for Galaxy's Edge. He is Donk Onar, who owns the cantina in Galaxy's Edge, which is part 1 of 5, called Baiting the Hook. And you got Remax, the alien I just did a voice for, Kendo, a woman, and Waro. But yet it features Han Solo and Chewbacca for this part of Galaxy's Edge. And here's the description for it. Black Spire Outpost is haven for smugglers, merchants, and travelers from every corner of the galaxy, all looking to make the score of the lifetime in the infamous black market. War, the fall of the Republic, the rise of the Empire, Black Spire has endured. And the mysterious trait, Dok Ondar, has weathered it all, thriving on the opportunities that abound in the lawless pockets of the galaxy's fringes. But a new evil rises in the galaxy, one that may threaten even Dok Ondar and Black Spire. Well, this story is by Ethan Sachs, and the art design is by Will Sliney. I say Sliney, not Slimy. And the color is by Dono Sanchez Armada with Proto Bunker. And Feces, and the lettering is by Feces, Travis Lanham. And here's what Remax has to say. The First Order. And he was going into height. Not good. You're late, Remax. Wow, he was in disguise. Sorry, Kendo. I took a more treacherous route and I was followed. The First Order doesn't matter. And and we see Kendo. What matters is we don't lose our audience with Dok Ondar. I earned my reputation by running a crew of amateurs. And yes, and Dok Ondar isn't really happy being awaited, and he just told him this. This better not be a further waste of my time. The most valuable comedy I own. Which is translated from Ithoridian, because he's an Ithor alien. And we are at Dok Ondar's Den of Antiques. Let's get the business. Oh yeah. It just want to say, of course. Well, then let's get down to business. I've been told that you've produced the you procure the unprocurable. That you have acquired the greatest collection of rare relics in the known galaxy. These are just enough credits to my attention. Easy, Waro. Is that what I think it is? And yes, it's a Sarlacc, a baby Sarlacc. But it takes place a long time ago before Planet Batu. Yep, a long time before Han Solo died. And we see the Millennium Falcon going to the Ivorkia Prime Preserve in the Outer Rim. Clearance is good. Deactivate cannons, lower the shields. Yeah, Chewie. You already made your concerns clear. But can you trust me? Have I ever let you astray? I mean, recently, at least the codes Dokondar gave us worked. Or this would have been a much shorter visit. But Dunga is paying good amount for the credits for this bad idea. Yep, that's Chewie. As they go down to the Outer Rim, they met with Oris, who is Dr. Jensor's assistant. And he's got one of his bodyguards. And they were traveling to see the doctor. But, although there's Sarlacc infants in there. Hey, if they're down there, where's the doctor? And he pushed Solo down. And Chewie's being zapped by one of his bodyguards. And Han Solo, who is down in the Sarlacc pits, saying, I'm not being paid enough for this. My apologies for the rude welcome, Mr. Solo. I am actually a big admirer. Nothing personal, I just need your ships and the code to escape this place. With enough frozen Sarlacc spores to make me very rich. But they were being shot at by... Yep, and one of the, has fallen down to the Sarlacc pits. While Chewie, still being zapped, but then landed to his death. And there was a baby Sarlacc coming, and Han just said, what in the pits of Lotho Minor is that? And a baby Sarlacc just killed him! Wait, aren't Sarlaccs not supposed to move? Well, it's canon now, Han. This is the canon timeline. Oh. And he was just not too thrilled. And he tried. I hope you die better than Dr. Jensor did, Solo. Finish him and go to the ship. But although Han is going to rescue Chewie, but he's got his hands full. And there's the doctor. And he's a corpse. with his stun stick. And Han just shocked, just stunned the Sarlacc. Although Chewie is more powerful because of all that fur. And he pushed them down into the Sarlacc pit. Well, excuse me. Just like, of course, with Jango Fett, it burnt. Why couldn't you just die like the other vermin from Kashyyyk? And he's beginning to shoot Chewie. It looks like Chewie's dodging to grab his bowcaster. And he shoots twice. And that was a perfect shot. Well, at least it's better than Legolas shooting an arrow, which is actually one hit only on the elephant. The ship, Chewie! The ship! And hurry! There are more of them! I'm too good looking to be eaten alive. Yeah, really? That's the best you could come up with? Although I do say I'm too good looking to die. Oh no. No job is worth this. Blasted! Which one of these buttons is the horizontal thruster? As he's trying to make his escape. Ah, there it is. And those Sarlaccs are moving. And he grabbed his electrical baton. And he dodged the first attack. Doke Ondar is not going to be happy when he finds out I can smuggle out all of them. Well, relax, Solo. You would have died. And the Sarlacc begins to charge. Sorry about your brother or sister. Really? That's the best you got mode? Chewie! Like, no, I wasn't going to leave you. I was going to come back, I swear. Alright, I promise we'll never take any more angry job again. That's what he always says. Well, that's why he was captured. But it was actually Han Solo saying that. Alright, I promise. We'll never take an animal wrangling job again. Now, we have to figure out how to get it inside. And then, they went to Batuu, to Doke Ondar's den of Criticis. And getting there wasn't exactly easy, but here's your Sarlacc, just as promised. And here's what Doke Ondar says. For what I'm paying, you should have brought another 2 or 3. And Han was like, yeah, well, there was only one heist. If you pay us, Chewie and I will be on our way. Yep, and with the Sarlacc, it's scaring Han Solo. But now we get to present day, Batuu. And he says, it's this, and that's how I procure this magnificent creature. As you can see, nothing is out of my reach. And then Kondar told him, actually, I'm in the market for something a little more exotic. And take a look at this. These are something even Doak Ondar will not traffic. If it's about the price my clan can afford, there aren't enough credits in the galaxy for that. Get out. He took the bait as Kondar, Redax, and the other crazy, for God's name, left. How? How is that possible? You said it was lost years ago. No matter what it takes. We cannot allow a weapon that powerful to fall in the wrong hands. Uh-oh, it's the First Order. And yeah, sorry if I had to go through it, but I gotta say, I really enjoyed Galaxy's Edge. And to be honest, guys, I really enjoyed Galaxy's Edge. The comics, you know? I mean, sure, it's a never heard of it, but the Galaxy's Edge is a highly recommend read. If you have interest in going Galaxy's Edge, then you're going to love the comic. You can get it at Marvel.com or at the Marvel app, and it's yours. All I need to do is wait, and so I could buy TIE Fighter before Alphabet Squadron comes out. Alright guys, we are in the main topic, the main event. And it's the one I've been waiting for, and it's related to D23 and Darth Vader himself, James Earl Jones. Okay guys, yesterday, on Marvel Tuesday, 3 of them has been inducted to Disney Legends. And that's one thing you need to know. Was of course Robert Downey Jr., Iron Man, Ming-Na Wen, Agent May, but mostly I know her as Mulan, and of course, the Mandalorian creator, Jon Favreau. But once again, congrats to those 3 that I mentioned on Marvel Tuesday. But now, why is this D23 important to me? Because of Disney Legends? And what does that have to do with Star Wars? In case if you guys don't know, but some of you got it. James Earl Jones is added to Disney has been inducted to Disney Legends 2019. And this year, well, I know some of them like Betty Milder, who was on Hocus Pocus, but she made her debut on Ruthless People, which is by Touchstone Pictures. Which is already filmed by Touchstone Pictures, which is also owned by Disney. That's where she made her start to stardom, playing as Barbara Stone, the kidnapped on Ruthless People, who Danny DeVito's Frank Stone cannot stand. Yes, and that's all I know about her. The rest I don't know about. Jon Favreau. Yes, I know him. Iron Man. Tony Stark. Robert Downey Jr. I know him. And Ming-Na Wen. even though I know her a bit as Agent May. And yes, she also guest starred in 2.5 Men. But she is most famous for the role of Mulan. Darth Vader is now added to Disney Legends. Before Star Wars was owned by Disney, that's what he's most famous for. Voicing an iconic Star Wars villain. But that's not all he was famous for. He did appear in Disney as the role for Mufasa. The role for Mufasa in The Lion King. Which I do admit that that's one of the Disney movies I cried to. Yes, The Lion King, I cried to Mufasa's death when I was little. Yeah, and I hope I won't have to go through that again in the live action, since he is going to be Mufasa in the live action series. In the live action series of The Lion King, also directed by Jon Favreau, who also did The Jungle Book. But that's not all. Earl Jones also did the Legends of Tomorrow, which I used to have the DVD for when I was like 10 years old, which focuses stories of John Henry and Johnny Appleseed, Paul Bunyan, and Casey, I forgot his name, the train conductor. The one, John Henry was the one with the almighty hammer that does the trails, who beat the train but fortunately died. And Johnny Appleseed is the one who planted the apples. And yes, he also died. Paul Bunyan is just a man of myth, a tallest giant ever. But, it's just... which just challenges the distance with an ox. And yes, the train conductor is trying to get here on time. Although trying to get here to the train station on time. But yes, I remember those. And James Earl Jones was the one telling those stories. With Disney's Heroes of Tomorrow. Yeah, I remember now. It was Heroes of Tomorrow. But, but once again, just want to say congrats to James Earl Jones for being in D23 2019 Disney Legends. Now he has joined Jon Favreau, Robert Downey Jr., Ming-Na, and the late, great Stan Lee. You have my congratulations, and I'm going to have to end this episode right now. Okay, guys, that's going to be about it for the episode of The Wednesday Awakens. Yeah, so sorry if we, of course, had to go so late. But I just want to do Geek City first before this. And I'm very highly honored this week with, of course, Robert Downey Jr., Ming-Na Wen, Jon Favreau, and now James Earl Jones to be inducted to Disney Legends. And the last person who did that was Stan Lee. Yeah, I hope next year would be the main three: Harrison Ford, the late great Carrie Fisher and her posthumous induction with Billy Lord, her daughter. Oh wait, the next 2 years, yeah. In 2021, yeah. And Luke Skywalker himself, Mark Hamill. I hope the three will be inducted to Disney Legends this year. Oh, sorry, I meant 2021. Alright, guys. I'm gonna go back to my Back-to-Tank, get fully healed, and of course, hopefully there's no more demises for me, like after the finale, because I do not want to happen. Alright guys, that's gonna do about it. I'll see you guys next time, and as always, may the Force be with you.
The podcast you just heard was made using Anchor. Ever thought about making your own podcast? Anchor makes it really easy for anyone to get started. It's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free. Sign up now at anchor.fm/new. That's anchor.fm/new to get started.